The Congress support Ismail Omar Guelleh's candidacy for the election 2021. The opening of the Youth Employment and Inclusion Forum at the People's Palace. For the international scene, 42 persons abducted from a high school in Nigeria. Welcome to our newsroom. The ambassador of the Republic of Djibouti to Ethiopia, Mohammed Idris Farah, has signed a memorandum of understanding between the government of Djibouti and the African Union Commissions. This memorandum of understanding is signed with Ismail Shargi, the Commissioner of Peace and Security of the African Union, and it's concern the deploy of 120 police officers to strengthen the staff of AMISOM in Somalia. After the opening of the fair, the employment forum opened this morning at the People's Palace, focusing on the challenges of employability in the knowledge economy. It mobilized hundreds of young people who stormed the People's Palace. At the heart of this forum, the issue of employment, the objective of taking up this real challenge, making a diagnosis during this introductory workshop in consultation with the various partners, including the ministries concerned, the social partners contributing to the development of the various national strategy. In effect, this is a relevant and integral strategic approach to the implementation of a framework of coherent, adapted and inclusive public policies focused on growth and employment in order to create the conditions for the integration of young people into the national economic fabric. During this forum, the issue of employment will be at the heart of these exchanges with the panels of discussions between national and international experts on different theme topics will include the main lines of the national employment policy, governance, the functioning of the labor market, where a real analysis will be carried out by the experts. The recommendations resulting from these exchanges will be the subject of in the framework of the lobbying and advocacy actions planned within the framework of the entry point concerned. For his part, the former Minister of Education said that creating jobs is an issue that concerns all policies around the world, and creating jobs is not an easy thing to do in one fell swoop, and there is an urgent need for policy dialogue. For his part, the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud, said he first of all thanked the Minister of Employment for this noble initiative, which consists in creating mass employment for unemployed young people to enable them to integrate socially. The Minister of Higher Education and Research, Dr. Nabil Mohammed Ahmed, expressed his warm thanks to the Minister of Employment for involving them and for having thought of their departments to absorb the unemployment of young people in the country. For his part, the Minister of Employment, Ismail Ibrahim Roble, said that the initiative of this employment forum comes from His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, President of the Republic, and in this context, we will create mass employment for young unemployed people without any hope. The faithful to this initiative, the Kubesh company's jewel of Djiboutian industry, has worked to the letter to achieve the objective of this fair. In other words, to set an example and play a leading role in favor of employability. They conducted the interviews, received the CVs, but also guided these young job seekers. The Minister of Finance, Ilyas Musa Dawale, gave an interview in which he detailed the importance of this fair. It is a platform for meetings between recruiters and young people looking for work, We hope that a large number of young people will be able to recruit at this forum. He said, this is an excellent opportunity because for companies, these CVs will serve as a database, and they will be able to draw on them when the need arises. The Minister of Health, Mohammed Warsama Diriye, has inspected the control and surveillance devices against COVID-19 at the entry point of our country. Indeed, the ministry carried out a review at the border post of Loy Adda and at the Djibouti International Airport to inquire about the proper functionings of the control mechanisms put in place to monitor travelers. During his trip, the Minister of Health was able to see for himself that control measures and containment procedures against any introductions of the virus are scrupulously respected at the entry points. Subsequently, the Minister of Health visited the Bufar hospitals, which is the main structure dedicated to the screening and management of COVID-19 cases. For the Minister of Health, the aim is to take stocks of the care structures and laboratories that are fully committed to the national fight against this pandemic. Furthermore, the Minister of Health, Mohammed Warsama Diriye, insisted on the need for increased vigilance on these crucial moments in the unprecedented evolutions of the pandemic. The Minister indicated that preparations are being made to accelerate the implementation of the vaccination strategy against COVID-19, recalling that the minister was accompanied by a large delegation of senior officials from his department, as well as members of the scientific committee for the response against COVID-19. The Minister of Health, for his part, made a statement on the situation of the pandemic in Djibouti, explaining the different national actions that are being taken to avoid the introductions of new variants in this global context marked by the emergence of SARS-CoV-2 variants. The Minister of Muslims Affairs, Culture and Waqf Property, Mumin Hassan Barre, received in audience this morning in his office the Ambassador of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, accredited to Djibouti, Abdul Aziz bin Abdullah Al-Madar. The meeting took place in the presence of the Secretary General Mohammed Shuaib Adjal and the advisors to the Ambassador, Abdurrahman Al-Yusuf. The Minister welcomed the Ambassador while saluting the excellent links of fraternity and cooperation between two brotherly countries in the various sectors of development. The Minister reviewed the major project and achievement of his department in the field of Muslims and cultural affairs. The Social Democratic Party, PSD, a member of the Union for the Presidential Majority, UMP, held this Thursday at the People's Palace its extraordinary Congress by giving full support to the policy of the President Ismail Omar Guelleh. This Congress was also an opportunity for the party members to renew the mandate of the current president of the PSD party, founded in November 2002 by the late Momin Bahdon Farah and currently chaired by Ms. Hasna Momin Bahdon. The PSD party is mobilizing this to strengthen democratic values in the Republic of Djibouti. During the proceedings of this Congress, the party members reiterated their support for the candidature of the head of state for a fifth term as a head of state for the Supreme Magistracy, in the interest of the nation. In addition to the political leaders and activists of the PSD attended this extraordinary Congress, all the leading figures of the other political parties allied in the coalitions of Union for the Presidential Majority, UMP, namely Ilyas Musa Dawale for RPP, Ibrahim Sheikh Daoud for UPR, and Kamil Musa Alayo for the PND party, and Ali Sheikh Burhan for Fruit Party. The leading figures of the other political party allied in the coalitions of the Union for the Presidential Majority, Mr. Kamil Musa Alayo from PND, and Mr. Ibrahim Sheikhan Dawood from UPR, Mr. Al Sheikhan Burhan for Freed. The party members reiterate their support for the candidatures of the head of state for 5th terms as a head of state for the Supreme Magistracy in the interest of the nation. The Secretary General of the Popular Rally for Progress, RPP, Minister of Finance Ilyas Musa Dawale, who took the podium at this PSD Congress, recalled that the RPP will always be at the side of PSD. We know very well, he said, that the PSD is anchored in the histories of our country. We know these founding fathers, whether it is Momin Bahdon and Ahmed Boulale Barre. We know he added the role of this elder played in the history of the national novel, and for this reason we must always remember that it's always the supreme interest of the nation and the people that prevail is he interested. We thank you for the choice you have made and for your support. The member of the executive committee of PSD, Mohamed Adabu Kako, indicate that the PSD party has already agreed on the choice of the President of the Republic as PSD candidate, and this is in full consultations with the other parties of UMP. For her part, PSD President Hasna Mumin Bahdon said on the eve of the 2021 elections, presidential election to be held in our country, the PSD is following a credible candidate capable of continuing the development, and the work already began. The Social Party, accompanied by its youth, will follow the work already undertaken by its predecessors who are dedicated to develop the country. The International School for Advanced Trainer in Judicial Police Practices hosted on Wednesday, 17 February 2021, a closing ceremony for the 6-week advanced training for investigator course. This course, which started on January 10, 2021, brought together 20 trainees, including 14 from and 12 friendly countries, and 6 trainees from the National Gendarmerie, the National Police, and the Coast Guard, chaired by the Deputy Attorney General, in this case, Ms. Leila Mohammed Ali. The event was attended by the Prefect of Artas Region, the President of Artas Regional Council, the Secretary General of the National Human Rights Commission, the Internal Security Attaché of the French Embassy in Djibouti, the acting commanders of the Coast Guard, and several officers of the National Gendarmerie. On this occasion, the trainees of the class received their diploma insignia of the school from the official present on the scene. For her part, the Deputy Prosecutor General, Leila Mohammed Ali, delivered a speech in which she addresses the trainees to urge them to get out of the routine and cultivate a taste for sharing the knowledge acquired. He also congratulated them and concluded his speech by thanking the government, the High Command of the Gendarmerie, and the instructors of the E3PG. For the international scene, the Nigerian president on Wednesday ordered an operation to save 42 people, including 27 students, victims of a new kidnapping by an armed group in a boarding school in the country. 2 months after the mass abductions of the 34 teenagers in a neighboring region, 344 teenagers in a neighboring region that had caused worldwide uproar. Armed men attacked a high school in the northern state of Niger. The bandits attacked the school around 2 a.m. on Wednesday. In all, they abducted 42 people. Muhammad Sari Idris, the local government information commissioner, told AFP on Wednesday at the time of the attack there were 640 students in the school. They took 27 students with 3 teachers. One student was killed. They also kidnapped 12 members of the teacher's family. He added, "This is the last assessment we have made after checks," he said. This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.